Most of us grew up loving superhero stories. We idolized their physical powers, their courage, their confidence, their unwavering sense of purpose. They tapped into something deep and primal within us. Yet, if we're honest with ourselves, how much of that has really changed? Sure, we might pretend we've outgrown that phase, but the truth is that part of us always lightens up when we come across the latest Marvel movie. Part of us still daydreams about being one of them. So, why is that? I believe that as men today, these are the exact traits we are missing more than ever. Superheroes represent the version of ourselves we wish we could be: powerful, fearless, free from self-doubt. They're the symbolic alpha males of the human race, the embodiment of confidence and purpose in a chaotic world. I seriously doubt that there's a man who doesn't not just want to feel that way, but to be also seen that way by the people he cares the most about. In business, family, by our sons, our daughters, and our significant other. But what if we didn't have to escape into a movie or other bad habits in order to feel like that? What if committing to a bold physical goal, like building a superhero physique and actually seeing it through, could awaken all those superhero traits we've conditioned ourselves to believe are out of our reach? Now, there's an old idea that there are three main body types. You're either an endomorph, an ectomorph, or a mesomorph, yet this idea has been outdated. Not that these body types do not exist, it's just that there's a huge spectrum that exists between each of these categories. In other words, instead of trying to fit perfectly in one of these types, the idea here is to use them to get inspired and gain a direction towards building your unique superhero physique that you can be proud of. Starting with a Flash, or what you can say is more of an ectomorph, if you've been mostly naturally skinny for the biggest part of your life, then you might resonate more with this physique. Also keep in mind that people who relate to this body type often also morph into a more skinny fat physique due to bad lifestyle habits and a lack of strength training. Another common characteristic of this body type is that gaining muscle doesn't come easy to you, but you also don't have to let that discourage you, since the reality is that you can still achieve a strong, shredded, Bruce Lee kind of look if your training and diet are on point long enough. If you have a more naturally symmetrical and athletic build, at least when you're active and following a decent diet, you're probably closer to a mesomorph Wolverine physique. In this case, you often appear to gain muscle more easily than other body types, although part of that is illusion, since muscle just pops out more on your frame due to your symmetrical proportions. Yet make no mistake, building a superhero physique still takes a ton of hard work and commitment. If you've had mostly a thicker body for the biggest part of your life, you may identify with a endomorph physique. Oftentimes, endomorphs can build strength and muscle easier, especially in the lower body, but getting extremely shredded takes a lot of work that might not even be worth it, in my opinion, especially if you want to enjoy a more balanced and enjoyable diet in the long run. Still, a powerful, muscular look with a defined 2-pack or even 4-pack set of abs is attainable and usually far healthier than stressing over an unrealistic 6-pack or 8-pack. As long as you put in the work, you can build an impressive Captain America, or if you prefer, Superman physique, as portrayed in Man of Steel by Henry Cavill. Lastly, remember that somatotypes aren't rules, they're just starting points, so keep in mind that the physique goal you pick is not set in stone. Plus, oftentimes, if you're patient enough, your physique can even morph a bit. For example, if you relate more to an ectomorph body type and put in the work and eventually achieve a flash physique, you might be able to next start aiming for a more muscular hybrid look, something that is more in the middle of a Flash and a Wolverine physique. That was all for today. Stay posted for episode 3, where we'll start going more into depth with superhero training. Lastly, if you want to get started on building your superhero dad physique right ahead, and you want the accountability and clarity a coach can offer, you can always learn more about our one-on-one coaching program by filling a simple Google form below. Or if you want a sneak peek into what people who work with us have to say about our coaching, keep watching and check out one of my favorite new trainees, Corey, and what he shared with me a few days ago in our regular one-on-one weekly video check-in. Keep on training.
Hey, it's Corey for the Sunday check-in. This week was my hiking trip. My son and I had our big hike. We had a really good time. I sent some pictures on WhatsApp. I did have to carry his pack for about 2/3 of the way on the way hiking in. So my pack was 40 pounds. His was between 10 and 15. So over 50 pounds to carry. I don't think I could have done that without the training you've helped me with, or at least done it and not been alive. When we got to camp, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was exhausted, I was tired, but I wasn't dead. And I had plenty of strength to set up camp and do, all the prep work and get our dinners ready, start a fire and walk, up and down this big hill, get our water. I wasn't dead tired, even though it was a hard day. And again, your training really helped with that. On the way out, it was kind of similar. My son was a little more able to carry his own pack for longer just because it's downhill. But I still carried it maybe about 1/3 of the way. My pack was about 5 pounds lighter because we were eating all our food. And I couldn't have made this trip as good of a trip that I did without your help and your training. So thank you for that. And I can't wait to see how much further we can push this. It's been awesome. Thank you. Hope you're doing well.